this stage just because their carries are a little better protected. But for WE, obviously there are tools for them to get access to that backline. But it is going to come down to a little bit of that execution through the early stages of this game.
Staying back up from some of that poke, and Sion going to be no slouch in being able to clear away waves, especially with the support either. So WE going to have to see if they can keep Saburo at bay for long enough to build up a real advantage. So you can see these trades coming through, and you can see the regen from the Rex.
Saburo. Yeah, he's going to feel the pain on that one. And I will say as well, just wanted to point out where our junglers were pathing. We've got Monkey coming up to this top side. If Saburo doesn't get his recall here, could be in trouble, Gordo, as the Ambessa show's face is already full cleared. 3:20 on the clock.
Oh, a nice piercing arrow from about. Yeah, gonna stop that recall, and this should be first blood coming through. Monkey flashes away to break the turret aggro, and WE on the board first.
Wave making him feel a little bit pressured into having to step back. Maybe that we might see Renard move down as he sort of hovers away from mid lane. You can see Karis doesn't actually know whereabouts this Talia is, and he's going to face check, forced to flash.
Yeah, really good decision to flash away from it, though. Now Renard a little bit caught out. He is going to have to retreat. The Dragon already falling down. Yao Yao getting focused. He's going to be the first one to drop of the fight, but Monkey going to be able to trade back onto
IG.
Renard. Still, IG way better health bars, way more damage, and About has got to bail. Already used the flash. Now going to get scooped back in by Jue, and Photic is about to cash out. Gets his kill in this battle, his second of the game. IG claim the feat of warfare, and they get themselves off to an early advantage.
This WE composition falls behind.
Yeah, I gotta say, it feels like IG are giving up quite a bit here to get these grubs, as they do find themselves with a lot of turret plates going the way of About, and quite a few jungle camps going the way of Monkey as well. And really claim some plates and claim some towers. This is About TPing in, going to be right on top of the Rek'Sai, taking a really rough trade. That bite really hurting. And here comes the Void Rush underneath the turret, flashes away in time, and that was public execution from Monkey, missing very slightly. Saburo gets the solo kill, flash in from Yao Yao to hold him still, and Monkey going to look to try to finish off the kill. One more dash with a Drakehound step will cause a 1-for-1.
Let's try and take.
Yeah, top laners both just clearing out waves, no problem. They've gotten tanky enough that they don't need to concern themselves with towers and things like that. A very deep clear from Saburo, but here comes the unstoppable onslaught from Cube to rejoin the fight. Shows up to Photic, gets spell shielded away. Yao Yao's already been taken down, but it's a support trade, and Wei will fall down to the unleashed power of Karis. This thing does end up as a 2-for-1 so far. WE trying to back away. Monkey has to flash away from a seismic shove. They attempt to return fire, but they miss everything onto Renard.
Photic's still
going to stay strong, firing rocks over the wall. There's a Void Rush in from Saburo, but he finds himself one shot, and Cube and Karis survive with a sliver of HP apiece. WE get away with murder and take a 3-for-1.
Very good positioning, wasn't forced to use either summoner spell, and even in the back half of this, you can actually see that IG are the ones who secure themselves the objective, despite the fact that they lost out in the gold or in the kills. They're the ones that come away with the objective.
A better fight for WE, so very close slivers of execution determining some of these fights, and I think that's going to continue to be the case with only a 1k gold lead. Successful smite from Monkey will secure the Rift Herald, and that's a flash away from Yao Yao. WE already deciding they don't want no smoke. They're going to try to get themselves out of here, but Jue comes in with the Magnet Storm for the engage. Monkey going to be locked down, and Wei is all over him. He picks up the first of the fight, and Yao Yao about to join him as 2 kills go the way of IG, and Karis going to have to try to survive this dive.
Yeah, definitely very worried. TP necessary, just gets out under the flick. This fully stacked tier now, Seraph's Embrace in the back pocket. And again, we look at the profile that WE have. Definitely not going to be easy for them to succeed this time round.
Yao Yao getting a little bit of Spider-Man action out there as he whiffs on the hook, but does manage to lock down Jue and hand a kill over to About. WE secure themselves a number for sure, and needs to be able to focus down Photic. Photic with so much in his hands this game. Yao Yao looking for another engage. It's going to be onto Jue. He's able to jump back in time, and now Yao Yao cut off from the rest of his team. A nicely placed Weaver's Wall from Renard, going to cut away the rest of WE and secure a quick kill for the IG squad right before the Dragon spawns. I think they're going to try to get in a soul point, Rude.
Yeah, and they should be looking for this quite safely. Yao Yao, obviously, not too long. Death timer.
going to look for another fight here. The shuffle back, not going to connect. Cube can't find somebody with Unstoppable Onslaught either, and that's half his health bar picked away from over the wall. Meanwhile, Saburo still splitting on the top side, so WE left with no real good options here. Karis going to look to interrupt some recalls, does so on the way, but that is a very tiny victory, if at all.
Yeah, it's a very thin silver lining as far as things go. Now, they're probably going to be able to start this dragon. Whether or not they can do it uncontested remains to be seen, as we do know that Wei is walking out from base. There's a TP from Saburo to try and stall this as best as possible. The dragon will fall, but what about the fight afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, Shui going to be deep behind enemy lines off the back of that portal, but Saburo's there to back him up. They're locking down Yao Yao, who's just not tanky enough to survive this for very long. Cube is, however, as he tries to back away. Wei finds a pass into the fight and will be able to one-shot Yao Yao, but now he's locked out by the Chains of Corruption, and the Unleashed Power will be enough for a shutdown to go back the way of about. It's a 1-for-1 so far, and Shui, without many pathways out to safety, might be the next target. Going to be able to fall back with the rest of his team, and WE going to make it a 1-for-1, but the jungler's still down.
Yeah, and overall, a slightly beneficial trade for WE as they do take the dragon, right? They stop that stacking, and in the midst of all of this, the Herald was placed down by Monkey. A quick boost to his damage, and about here, sat on a ward. This could be problematic as it's not been swept, and oh dear.
Oh, Chains of Corruption come out. They land out of the Wukong clone and about caught out by the Magnet Storm. Wei continuing to advance forward, but
still alive.
Actually been bailed out for now. Does have some space to fire back, but Monkey already melted through. Cube
no
TP's
flash.
in, but he's just going right into the meat grinder. A quick double for IG as they finish off both frontliners and get ready to start off this Otacon. No smite available for WE.
And yes, About lives, but he is the sole cause for this fight and now has to try as best as he might to salvage this play. 8k on the Atacon, no jungler. I think for W, you just have to give this. Spotted on a ward, no real right for About to be there. It's an excellent ward placed down by Zhui earlier on, just knowing, okay, well, we're playing around this bot side. This Atacon has proven to be a pretty big focal point for the last minute or so. Let's put down a little bit of lingering vision. Let's make sure that actually we can find any fights around it. Oh, I mean, he's had to summon a heal there.
Oh, but that's Photic forced to flash by a nicely placed Chains of Corruption from About. Monkey tries to throw himself into the back line using that public execution, and now multiple targets locked down by those chains. Joy going to be the first one to fall in the fight. Yao Yao going to be traded onto very quickly as Renard flashes forward, starts throwing out the rocks, and will pick up a kill onto About. A 4-man squad of IG, too strong for the remaining members of WE. They'll take this mid-outer turret, and they're ready to march over to Baron.
Once again, Gordo, who's finding access to Photic. Public execution doesn't quite connect, and the Civ is able to free hit. Really, really easy fight here for Invictus Gaming, as all they've got to do is protect their AD carry. Now with 10k left on that Baron, Saburo and Renard trying to run Anchor, run Disruption. There are 3 members of WE that are going to try and find access here, and Monkey taking a fight with Saburo on the top side. He's just losing it.
Well, Renard is caught off on the other side by Cube, and Karis is dumping in the damage. The Baron will be successfully smited, though, by Wei. No contest there for WE, and Renard manages to escape with his life as well. Cube now sectioned off, focused down, and IG claim another man. Monkey and Cube now going to be down for the foreseeable future as IG look to continue to push with the Baron buff. Yao Yao finds Saburo, and Saburo finds the death screen as WE do manage to trade one back.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure here, Gordo, that this is just going to be game number 1 now for IG. It might take them a little bit more time. It might take them getting this soul, a little bit of extra time post this Baron, but they've got all of the tools here, and that gate is very aggressive from Yao Yao, forced to immediately flash.
Yao Yao going to get locked down, but he is not stopping, and Photic now going to be the focus.
He's getting healed by
2
Syndra.
stuns and an unleashed power. He just shrugs it off. He manages to walk away, but finally a snipe from About will land. The Blighted Quiver paying off big time as About turns it into a double kill and gives WE some breeze. She just shrugs off so much. They just don't have the fully scaled one-shot potential.
Renard
comes in off of the Weaver's wall, just starting this fight aggressively before Photic even shows up. I guess it doesn't matter, though, as Photic arrives off on the hunt. Cyclone holding the members of WE down as Photic takes them out for all already drop. It's about in a 1 versus 4 situation.
Well, he's
Manages
doing well.
to snipe onto Photic. Way already down as well, but Shui and Saboro will get the job done with Renard's damage. 3 members of IG left alive after the ace, and they're just gonna march it down with the Baron buff. Invictus Gaming draw first blood in our series tonight.
Yeah, About does well, but cannot do enough. The 5-item Varus not quite a contender in these late game stages. Invictus Gaming able to rally behind their carries, rally behind Renard, and rally behind Photic. Both of which having a stellar performance here in game number 1, and IG as a whole successfully take down WE. People alive for much longer and really exposes Misfortune for that lack of extended DPS. Obviously a very good wombo combo as well for WE.
Be able to play coming in on flanks later on, stack up the necessary stacks of Cultivation of War, and reset himself in the team fight to be a second source of health and a priority to be focused. But he doesn't need a win lane to do that. Is Wei going for a little invade here?
Yeah, I mean, Monkey just kind of walked into him, and the Pantheon's more than happy to, you know,
Monkey?
face check and take this 1-for-1. As, oh no, he's used his potion. Okay, 3v3.
Okay, slow up
4.
on Renard now as here comes Cube from the side. Yao Yao going to be here as well. Fires off the Q. Renard at 1 HP and one more swing in the clockwork windup. Showing his face down there, by the way, hanging out an enemy tri-brush and actually going to be able to sneak his way in here behind Photic and Jue. Photic going to be engaged on right away, going to be able to flash away from both the handshake and the wind becomes lightning. And just like that, the play is turned right back onto Yao Yao. Wei arrives to the scene, gets the stun and picks up the kill. And now About, at risk of getting taken out, needs to flash away. IG punish a play from WE that is just not executed cleanly.
Let me secure this Scuttle Crab.
Now Monkey moving his way out of that bot lane way faster than Wei is going to be the first one to show up to this Scuttle Crab, but Saboro is on top of it with a 2-level advantage, really wants to brawl with this Inchao. He doesn't get the smite, he does drop down, finally secures the Scuttle Crab, but Renard gets a kill back, and with it...
I think the former definitely commendable, the latter maybe a little bit less so, but a strong idea there, and I'm definitely here for it.
Oh, wow. Nice Solar Flare connects on a Yao Yao, and he is going to have to bail himself out there. Gets a handshake to pull Jue back underneath the turret, but Photic was the one tanking it up, so nobody going to drop down, and now about to get 1v2 Tower Dove, uses a very early cleanse, gets a kill on towards Jue, but will be no such trade onto Photic. Now Monkey trying to make a play up towards Saboro. In comes Cube with the ultimate, but not enough to be able to fully stack up his passive. Ulti in from Wei to turn the play back, knocked away by the Crescent Guard, but right back in on a Monkey goes Saboro, and the damage from Cube is just not enough. Karis arrives to the scene. The pull back in from Cube is going to allow them to finish off Saboro, but Wei executes the top laner. One more auto from Karis will allow him to get his 3rd of the game, and now Renard going to be the next target. Karis trying to chase him down, dodges out on the charm, but Jue is there. Karis doesn't care, flashes in, dissonance for another 4 kills strong. Karis trying to carry this game for WE.
And he's going to have to try as well.
And, you know, I think that's the kind of play you're going to see less of as people get more used to competitive Zehen, because he stays out of the fight for so long, all his Cultivation of War stacks drop off, and if you're not threatening to res yourself back up, this champion just doesn't do very much. Pushing out of the top side. Now Saboro going to TP down and try to brawl with Cube. Let's see how Cube plays out. This 1 versus 4 going to be chain CC'd, going to get hit with a point-blank bullet time, and going to drop on down. No too surprising there.
You know, call me a miracle worker the way I predicted he would die there. That was pretty high intellect from myself, if I do say so. Now, it does come at the cost of first brick going the way of WE, but this is gold funneled onto, it looks like just Soboro, and a little bit of plating gold will go to Photic as well off the back of this. So this Jax is going to continue to be a problem versus the Zehen in the side lane, so we will... you know, keep our eyes on that. We'll see how much that ends up playing into WE's hands. And for IG, once again, they've got a simple job. In game number 1, it was protect Photic. In game number 2, it's kill Karis.
That will be where we keep our focus. We are inching our way towards the Rift Herald spawn. Still a little ways to go before that is going to rear its head. for now, play around the mid lane. They're looking for Jue. Monkey dives in, already flash used, and Jue is done for. Question is, where does the kill go? To Karis as he gets his 5th. And this is a wealthy, wealthy Orianna, if I've ever seen one, Rooted.
Yep, and for WE, the game plan is also simple. It's protect Karis, right? This is Mr. President in the flesh right now, as we can see he's getting chaperoned up to this top wave. Sobro jumps in.
Getting on towards Karis here. They need to keep this Orianna safe. There's a TP incoming to try to cut him off, but it takes too long. He is able to create some space as Monkey dives forward. Cube TPing in on his own. They're going to knock Saboro back into the team and finish him off. Karis with another execution as he now needs to create a little bit of space. Flashes back away to stay away from the bullet time. Now trying to set up this fight in front-to-back fashion. Renard dove onto by Cube. He can't get the Cultivation of War stacks in time, and now WE are dropping like flies.
Still going.
Already down and way into the back line off the Grand Starfall. Misses Comet Spear, and that might give Karis the opportunity. He needs to get away, but Photic chases him down and finds one more double up. IG take the lead.
Enough damage left in the tank for the Orianna to get out of that one.
No, not at all. And we see it again from Cube here. I think this is just something competitive as a Hens will get better at, but it's all about managing those executions on the minions, man. They hurt so bad, and it's just what you have to play around when you face down the Misfortune. Photic getting a lot of damage in there. Blade of the Rune King a lit about. Tick back up without too much trouble. And Saboro, recall, this guy's a 1.5k ahead of Cube, but now Cube turned it back around, has the full stacks of Cultivation of War, and that is the signal for Saboro to back away. Monkey, meanwhile, was able to secure.
It's a win on all sides, but we are seeing a big commit down to that bot side. Cube now in trouble.
Yeah, he's without those Cultivation of War stacks now. Stacked him up earlier against Saboro, but now that they fade away, Renard, joining up with the team in the mid lane.
But that turret's dead.
Yeah, it will fall on down as the Rift Herald charges in, but Renard now with a backline engage. They're going to ulti on the way, but here comes Renard trying to get on towards Karis. Karis still raining through quite a bit of damage from that lead he built up on the Orianna. The first kill of the fight going to come through on towards Wei, and Jue soon to follow his jungler. Big flash in from Saboro as he finds a 3-man Counter-Strike stun. Only going to be able to find the kill onto the support for now. Karis is in the bailout, but he will not be able to find the res, and Saboro just bonks each member in turn. That's an ace for Invictus Gaming.
TP flank, it's an incredible fight engage, and the re-engage that came through from this Jax, absolutely monumental. Renard able to make his way down to that bot side and push an extra wave. They take layered on top, takes down Yao very quickly, able to wait for his cooldowns, and unfortunately about not quite strong enough to get through this Jax. And you can see, despite all of these Ren stacks being built up, one redemption comes in, keeps Saboro alive, and even unlive at this point. We are just seeing that Yao's getting caught out, trying to ward up his jungle, and IG in a position to threaten him and punish him for that.
Thought there was an opportunity for WE to get back into it, but no such luck once the top laner arrives. And Saboro going to look to keep this train rolling. Picks off Cube. Renard there with the charm to back him up, and Renard will hunt down the kill. Photic, meanwhile, finishes off a bout, and IG just keep them on coming. 2 more to the red side.
This whole time, by the way, Wei's just soloing Atacon. He took it down that bot side, as it does look like IG knew that there was an Orianna waiting in that brush. They take the Dragon, they take the Atacon, they take the mid lane tier 2. I think that flash probably warranted, as there were 4 members of WE all sort of waiting there, and I don't quite think that the rest of IG would have been ready to respond. Siege. Overall, you can see how successful that's been, and versus, Orianna versus the ability to wave clear, not too well.
Yeah, nice combo there. Saboro finds the Counter-Strike stun.
Oh, hi, Wei.
Renard finds the charm, and Wei is here for emotional support as they look to take down the inner turret. IG with the very easy time of it here.
Safety provided from the extra HP, from the Malignance, and the reduced cooldown on summoner spells and ultis. This RA should be feeling pretty darn safe.
4v4 breaking out in mid here. Jue going to throw out the Solar Flare. Doesn't connect the stun onto anybody. Saboro coming in on the flank, though. Comes in for another triple stun. Only gets it onto Karis, but Karis is the most important target anyway. Hostile takeover. Connecting onto 4. It's massive for Yao, but it's just too little, and it's just too late. 4 members already down. Cube, the last one respawning, and he'll hit the dirt as well. An ace for 1 for Invictus Gaming, and they're ready to close this series out nice and early. you, Rudude.
It's an absolute stomp from IG. 10 to 26, a 10k gold lead. Photic flashing on the double turrets.
And this is going to be the end here. 4 members pushing strong, nobody to stand in their way, and IG with a nice clean 2-0.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.